G'day and welcome to the Off-Chain Podcast. Don here with you. Our guest today is Petr Kozyakov, CEO and co-founder of Mercuryo, the London-based digital assets payment gateway enabling efficient payment and banking solutions through a single user-centric interface. Their client list includes big hitters like Ledger, MetaMask, Revolut, and many more in the space. We're really excited to talk with Petr about being the gateway between crypto and fiat, also the Genius Act, the newly minted Genius Act, and whether or not the integration of crypto and TradFi is finally ready for takeoff. Let's dive in. Let's start with your origin story. How did you get interested in stables, in blockchain, in crypto? How'd you get started?
Well, I would make a few steps behind, and I got in payments really early for online payments. It was the end of 200s, and I got there absolutely accidentally, just reference from a friend, and got into online payment company. And at that time, online payments was really something new. So not thing that we are all used to, that you can pay anywhere, everywhere with just tap of card or just online. So it was just getting started. So, and it was super interesting. I was like the fifth employee in the company, wearing many hats, thinking about business, about parts of compliance, about partnerships. So it was super interesting. And it's first time I felt the vibe of innovating, building something new. So then I moved to bigger one company, also online payments. Actually, then all of the rest of my experience was in online payments. And had a chance to scale, to work with bigger companies, some enterprise companies, and again, providing them the solution where they could easily accept payments for doing something online. So, and this is how I fell in love with this online thing where you can easily send money and buy something or just transfer. But, in 2018, I really fell in love with crypto, with the use case of being able just to transfer money, getting those money in a second. And on the other hand, we saw a huge opportunity that like if you wanted to buy crypto, it was about making 6, 7, 9 steps, answering a lot of questions, ticking a lot of the tick boxes. So it was painful. It was really painful. So we had experience how to do it really easy, and we decided that we should build it, and we started Mercuryo.
Is there anything about the early days, or even the 2018, 2019, trying to get into or get funds into crypto, anything in there that reminds you of the early days of online payments, or is it completely different?
In 2018, so I remember the thing that when I just started online payments, we came to, for example, online travel agencies, and they said, guys, we really don't need online payments. So it's ridiculous now. Everyone is buying tickets online. But at that point, I said, guys, it's okay. We can handle it. So we had some solution to accept cash or sell in kiosks. So, and so it was really harder to buy tickets. So, and the same was with crypto. I had my own experience when I tried first to buy crypto. That was painful. I had to ask a few friends to watch a few videos. I read a few threads how to get into crypto, but it was okay for crypto native people. And this was the main idea that we had in mind, that we need to make it the same deal as it is in Web2. So, and yeah, it was really in the early thing of crypto when people didn't care about the user experience and how you do it. So, yeah.
What are you doing differently with when you're talking about kind of crypto on-ramps, off-ramps? There are a lot of different kinds of providers now and exchanges and whatnot. How is your vision or your offering different to mainstream or what's happening out there?
So it's pretty straightforward. We are a product-driven company. So first of all, our product, and in the center of building the product is the customer. So we are making it easier, faster for end user to buy crypto, to have less steps, to have crypto delivered quicker. So, for example, to be able to buy with Apple Pay the same ease as you do checkout on any website like Nike or any other. So the idea is that we have the customer. We are just making the flow easy. On the other side, we are from the day one, we are compliant company, and compliance is our second pillar. And making this not breach, but combining compliance and best user experience is our core functionality or value. So, and I think this is our main differentiator.
Yeah, it's interesting. Actually, I haven't even really thought about this in a while. If you go back, like I said, to 2018 or 17, 16, it was very, very difficult to move fiat into crypto. But at the same time, like there was no, or at least in Australia, like where I live, there was no Apple Pay, for example, and you couldn't pay on your mobile phone yet then. But here we are 7, 8 years later, and it's the primary way people in my kind of age cohort and certainly younger, that they are almost only paying with their phones, Apple Pay or something like that. And so to think that people in that generation who aren't used to paying cash, aren't used to even necessarily spending much time with their bank or thinking about rails or on-ramps, off-ramps, they want that, double click the side of their mobile phone and they can make a purchase or transfer funds and those kinds of things. How much is your thinking around that user journey or that user experience? How much of it is you are innovating and you're thinking, how can we make this better? And how much of it is thinking about how do people already use money and those kinds of ramps, and how do we actually make it intuitive for them based on their kind of already user flow?
I think there are two parts. So first of all, we have a lot of great teams in Web2 working on this smooth user experience where you just click and you have already goods on the way to your home. So, and it's easy being in crypto. Just think, let's do it the same easy. We have this experience. We just need to do it the same easy. But on the other hand, you have tons of things why you're not able to do it like in just or 0.5 steps and to buy crypto, because you should be compliant. When crypto touches fiat and vice versa, there is always a regulation. It is actually interesting thing that in 2018, no one cared about regulation. So there were a few companies, but the main sentiment on the crypto market was like, guys, we are operating somewhere from islands. We don't care about licensing, and we're actually disrupting this world. So we won't have any licenses. And we had a different approach from the day one. We were a regulated company, and we always thought that regulation is our core part. So, and to combine that, to make them work in the way that it is really easy to buy, this is the thing. And so our innovation is not only about thinking how to make less steps or deliver crypto quicker, but also about making it a compliant way.
Yeah, for sure. How are you finding that compliant? Because like you say, that there has been a variety of approaches when it comes to regulation, and some who are saying, we're not trying to join traditional finance. We want to kind of totally replicate it or have a parallel universe over here where we're running everything differently or decentralized. Over there's for the regulation, over here is for the decentralization. But it seems that more and more, especially as Bitcoin became more mainstream, and in particular as stablecoins started to get mainstream adoption, that more and more jurisdictions thought, well, we can't beat them, so we might as well join them, or there's opportunity here. We don't want to be the ones to miss out. So we need to provide some regulatory framework so that people, our people can actually utilize this new technology. Famously now, at least in the United States, the Genius Act has recently passed. What are your thoughts around the Genius Act? Is it as monumental as people are saying, both inside crypto and outside crypto? What kinds of things do you think it's going to enable, both in the US, but then across the globe as well?
I think it is one of few really important parts of the switch that we see in the US after the new administration came, and this attitude towards crypto, that crypto is now more welcome. As you say, they want to build number one country to build crypto projects, to be number one in crypto. So, and this the Genius Act itself, it is a really important step for stable coins, for becoming more legit, becoming more recognizable for large institutions, for different companies who want to deal with that. And previously they were like, oh, we will just wait. We'll just wait and see. So, and now, like when you have the regulation in place, those guys who were thinking, yes, we should do something crypto, and there was a small lab with 35 people. Now they have the boost, and they don't have any excuse anymore to avoid crypto. So it's a huge step forward, and I think the core thing is that regulation is becoming more transparent, saying what you can do and what you cannot do. And then it is just easier. You can build more scalable things, and you can really embed this crypto in everyday life. I think one of the key things we have mentioned is that why are stablecoins important? Because actually they're the basic layer for the crypto world, so for trading, for transfers. So it is essential thing, and using stable coins for money movement, when you can embed it, and all the projects that are now, we call stable coin payments, when you solve the problem with sending money from one country to another, but just making out on crypto rails. So that helps a lot. And now you can do it easier, and you can embed it more and more in your everyday life. Because ultimately, you will just decide which rails to use as an end user to solve the problem that you have, to transfer the money, to receive the payment, something else. If you can do it with stable coins when they're under the hood, so you don't care. You just receive the payment or you send the payment, and this is it.
Is this going to be an integration with traditional finance and regular rails? Is this kind of, do you see this as crypto providing a new solution that's being adopted by traditional finance, or is this traditional finance coming in and kind of usurping all of those digital pioneers who helped maybe crypto become what it is, but now it's kind of just merging with trade finance? Where do you see us? Where do you see it happening right now? Is it? It's not. You can't really say it's in parallel so much anymore. It is integrating, but are we at risk of losing some of that decentralized, distributed edge and philosophical grounding, or is that going to carry through, do you think?
My idea here is that crypto itself is a great tool to have money in actually your wallet, your pocket. So no one owns crypto to you. You have crypto, and actually you are in full. You can manage crypto easily and do whatever you want with crypto in your wallet. So this is the core part. And then there are some things that you need to do. You need to move this crypto to fiat and from fiat to crypto. So, and in those cases, there is always a compromise. So because fiat is a regulated part, crypto, let's say, is not so regulated, but it will be. And DeFi and other projects, so they should have this basic thing that you own crypto, you can manage it, you're not relying on third parties. But basically, there will be, for adoption, for mass adoption, there will be more compromises. So, and it is more or less okay. I don't think that crypto will take over fiat. So, and also, I don't think that Web2 traditional finance will take over crypto. They will coexist, and this is the main part. So that's in like 10 years in your bank account, which actually might be not the regular incumbent bank that you have now, but rather your crypto wallet with the basic things that you have inside, like the bank account or bank card. So there you will just choose which rails you want to use. You want to send it using traditional fiat rails, faster payments in the UK, or you want to send money using stable coins on ETH or Tron. So this is the thing. Ultimately, you will just decide what is more convenient for you.
How long do you think it's going to be until people are only using those crypto rails? So not really going in and out of fiat, but just using stables when they want to use fiat.
I think there will be no time when people will forget about traditional fiat. So I really love crypto, but let's be honest. So people will use what is more convenient. If traditional rails is more convenient, why should you use crypto? And actually, this is the problem that we already saw it in 2018, 2019, previous bull run. So people think that if you add blockchain or crypto somewhere, it automatically solves all the problems. It is not. You have specific cases where crypto is more useful, it is easier, better. So, but there are still some cases where you can use traditional fiat rails and it is better.
Yeah, I remember, I can't remember what year it was. It might have been around 2019, maybe 2020, where it became clear that crypto, being able to send something across the globe and having it immediately or within minutes arrive in somebody else's wallet was a challenge to the banks at the time, where it might take a day, 2 days to reconcile through various kind of funnels and filters and layers. And then all of a sudden, as if they already had the capability but hadn't had to use it for a while, they kind of flipped a switch. And then all of a sudden, again, at least in my country, it seemed like overnight, to this challenge that, blockchain's better, all of a sudden, no, now you can just transfer money to another account, another institution, another country, and there's going to be instantaneous payments there. And it seemed like in the blockchain, and in particular the crypto industry at that time, there was a lot of fear even that, oh man, we've built this amazing thing, and all of a sudden there is no unique selling proposition over traditional rails any longer. What do you think in 2025? What is the unique selling proposition? What makes crypto now stand apart from traditional finance, which obviously has stepped up to the challenge of crypto over the last 7 or 8 years?
For me, it's absolutely sure that crypto should solve some specific problems. So, and then people will use it. There is a big driver for crypto, not adoption, but crypto growth now is speculation. So crypto is more an asset. I'm on the other side. I believe in crypto as a core functionality to solve some of the problems. And I think that's the stablecoin part where you can make cross-border payments or receive settlements. For being a gig worker, you can receive your payroll using stablecoins. We see some reports where people, around 30% of the people say they would like to receive payroll in crypto.
Yeah.
So these things are where crypto is really useful. And on the other side, it is an interesting thing that we are now conducting a big survey where we engage with a lot of the users in the US, and we ask about what are the problems you face now with dealing with different not custodial wallets or crypto exchanges, and how do you see it can be easier? So, and what are the problems we need to solve? And we actually plan to publish it in a few weeks. So, and again, it is in our idea that we chat with the end user and we ask what are the problems you are anticipating us to solve, and then we go back to work and work on that.
Anything that you can share about what you found out, or we're waiting for the release?
Let's wait for the release. There will be a few really interesting things.
Okay, yeah, awesome, man. I do want to ask you, what do you think is the place for Bitcoin as a payment medium in the future? Again, that going back when Lightning came out, and then various scaling ideas were either thought about, discussed, and some of them implemented. For some, I think Bitcoin is going to be not just a store of value, but a medium of exchange. And then it seems to have not become that. And the longer it goes, people are still using it as a medium of exchange, but primarily as a store of value, and hitting all-time highs after all-time highs. Even Ethereum really has had a massive recently too. How are you thinking about? Let's go with Bitcoin and Ethereum as opposed to stables when it comes to a medium of exchange or a payment medium, either now or in the future.
If we're talking about Bitcoin, you're absolutely right. It is an asset today. It's digital gold, or call it as you wish, but it is an asset. It is number one asset in crypto ecosystem. It is truly decentralized because of the amount of people investing, holding it. So, but it really, from the beginning, it was about just great technology, the first mover, but nothing after that was built on top of that to make some use cases. So it is still an asset, and Lightning is a great solution. I think there are around 50,000 nodes for Lightning, but still with Bitcoin itself, people treat it as an asset. So, and if you think about using Bitcoin as a medium of exchange to transfer money, there are some basic things where you struggle with the amount of zeros before the actual amount you should put. So it is hard for people to work, deal with that if they want to just have a transfer. And on the other side, if you just mentioned, so quite a great run in last week. So, but if from the beginning they were building an ecosystem where developers can build something on top of that, some use cases, some things that became crypto ecosystem. So, and the Ethereum itself, I don't believe that it will be a medium of change. same as Bitcoin, but Ethereum has all those layers where you can have stables and you can move it. So there is some competition with other layers as well. But Ethereum, let's say, if we chatted a few weeks ago, we would might doubt about what is Ethereum still there? Are people still building it? Do they remember about that? But this is more about pricing. So I think that's the ecosystem and second layers on Ethereum. They are really provide you with a lot more than other blockchains at the moment with the amount of ecosystem that you have. So, but there are a lot of different blockchains for building great things quicker, faster, cheaper. So, but not yet at the scale as Ethereum. And we'll see if they continue. I think that's the main challenge for Ethereum to keep on the pace to still attract developers and different companies to build on Ethereum. So that will be a main competition for that. But again, that will be not as Ethereum as a medium for exchange, but Ethereum as a gas for executing some of the smart contracts.
Yeah. What are you thinking about the people building on Bitcoin? So the BitVM, the Bitcoin DeFi, those kinds of things. Is this kind of a hidden hope, or do you think it's actually going to be a legit competitor to Ethereum? It seems like developers, some of them are moving over to the Bitcoin ecosystem, if we can call it that, even though lots of Bitcoin maxis are not very happy that people are trying to build on Bitcoin. They're really keen to see it stay just as that digital gold, like you mentioned. But do you think there's a future in the Bitcoin DeFi, Bitcoin VM crowd?
Sure. Well, I think people are super interested in, let's say, Bitcoin staking. So there are a lot of things then borrowing against Bitcoin. So, and if some of the teams can build something using Lightning or any other tools, so that's a super interesting. But yet, I think it is function of Bitcoin being an asset. So you want to hold this asset. You want to earn some yield. You want to borrow against it. But I think there are more blockchains where you can do it quicker, easier on top of that, because it will sound really weird, but Bitcoin has a lot of legacy. Well, we are not used to talk about crypto with this terminology, but comparing to other blockchains, there are huge legacy there, and there's be easier to build on top of something new.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. Hey, Peter, we have a lot of founders and aspiring founders who listen to the show or watch the show. How did you, if you can cast your mind back to, you'd had a lot of experience in payments, various companies and in various experiences. At what point did you come to the place where you thought, you know what, I could go out on my own and start something new? How did you get to that place, if you can cast your mind back?
It is always the thing of your internal comfort. I was always pushing for doing more, and I wanted to do more, to sell more, to build more partnerships, to find new payment rails. So, and at some point of time, for me, it was easier. I just felt that I should get out of the corporation, the company, and start doing it myself. So, but on the other side, it is always also important. Are you ready to take the risk? Because when you are building something, it is always about taking the risk. The risk that's as you mentioned before, that you have a really great product, but no one uses it. So even it might solve some of the problems, but people are still not using, and economics doesn't match. So you just need to take this risk and try it. If you have a clear understanding, I will suffer for 1 or 2 or 3 years with that. So yes, then you're ready to do. If you think that you're just going for a nice walk, there will be no trouble, but the same level of comfort that you have today, you will have building your company. So it's too early for you.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, the first thought, the primary, the genesis of you going out on your own and starting something new was you actually getting frustrated where you were. You couldn't move fast enough, or your own internal innovation or creativity was being stifled, or just the pace you wanted to go. And you thought, man, I gotta get out there. I gotta get going, because the people who you were working for, no slight on them, obviously, but they weren't moving at the pace that you could see the opportunity. Was that it? Was it the opportunity in front of you, or was it the frustration of being where you're at?
To be honest, when I just started building the company, we didn't measure it in the way that we should properly actually do. When you start the company, you should measure the market. You should understand what the unique things you bring in. What is the innovation? What are the customer base? So the things that's now I'm thinking a lot. So, but when I just started, so it was frustration. But yes, we can do more. We can do more. We can move at faster pace. For sure, it was linked with like potential. I see this customer demanding for this customer demanding for this. So and it is really about just finding the way that you can move quicker.
Mm-hmm. How did you find that transition from pioneer, founder to CEO, and now you're controlling the pace of the company, and you have people working for you who, they might have their own pace, either slower or faster. And how do you go being on the other side of that coin now?
So a few points here. So first of all, I still hope that I'm pushing the team to move faster. So really hope, and I think it is important about founder-led companies, so that even founder hands-on, so that we really moving at a quick pace. So about the transition, well, that was a huge way. So long but super interesting way. And the main thing that I learned, that I should constantly learn. I should be open to the things that today I'm doing one part. So when we just launched, we were looking for the first customers. Although we launched with a really large customer with Bitfinex as the first one. So, but before that, it took like quite a few months of frustration because we thought like we have already the product, so everyone will take it. And then you come and say, okay, guys, we love the product, but show us at least someone who is using this product already. So and then you start to think about regulation. Then you start to think about building the team, scaling. I remember it was easy when we had just 20, 30 people, but now as we have more than 300 people, there should be some process inside. And building the clear transparency for the whole team, that what we are doing, where do we move, what are the challenges. So aligning everyone is now the core thing for me. So at some point we raised some money. That was also a new experience that year. Started to focus not only on the execution, but also on dealing with fundraising and investors. So it's also a big part. But the main thing is that if you are open to learn, to get something new, so then it's okay. but I know quite a few founders who build really great companies. They just say, I don't want to deal with any investors, with any teams, more than 100 people. I just want to have like a team of 30, 50 great developers, and I know everyone, and we just work day and night to deliver the best product. So there are people like this who doesn't like to think about all these big companies' issues. But if you're ready to learn, if you are open to that, you just understand that at different stages you do different things.
Yeah, man, it's very interesting to me. I've got a friend who is a startup, had an amazing start, big customers, making lots of money, went to go scale, and all of a sudden freaked out and thought, oh man, if I start hiring people, then I am responsible for their livelihood. And he just went, I don't want that. Had a really amazing company and then pulled the pin because like, I loved the starting something, but didn't want to actually go and be a CEO or scale. For you, are there any particularly key insights or learnings that you've made along that way? You mentioned that transition as you grow. There's learnings and growth along the way. Is there anything that is true at all of those levels that you've learned?
I think that transparency inside the company is always the core thing, at least for me. I think that's like being open with people, telling them about our plans, but also telling them where we failed. So it is always important. The thing is that it is easier to do when you have like just 20, 30 people. But on the other side, when you have just 20 or 30 people, so you think about dreams about something big, you dream about big customer, and everyone is working for 6 or 7 months to get this customer, and then something happens and you don't have this customer. So and it is difficult to be transparent at that point. So, but in a big company, let's say in more stable company, there's also the question about being transparent. So, guys, these are our goals. We are working on that. We failed here. We will do this. We'll reflect on that. So, I think transparency, because in the end of the day, people are the most important part of at least tech startups, or fintech startup, crypto startup, and the being able to provide those people with really comfortable way of work, the place where they spend the majority of their life. So it is crucial, and it starts with honesty, and it starts with transparency.
Yeah, but everybody says that, and very few people actually do it. So every CEO says our people are our key business, and we can't do anything without them, and we want to be transparent. But it's obviously very difficult to actually walk the walk. You can talk the talk, very difficult to walk the walk, and you must get a lot of pushback or times when you think, oh man, it would just be easier to not be transparent. How do you hold the line? How do you keep going back to that core key philosophy of leadership there?
I actually can tell you from the very beginning, we discussed with our founders that spending time with the team, spending time not only at work, but some like later to have some drinks, play some video games or some other games, to do some stuff outside of work is also important. And we dedicated ourselves that we are doing it regularly. So for example, a lot of companies have town halls, some kind of meetups. We with my founders, we are there every week, as long as I'm traveling or something else. We are there, and we listen. We answer the questions. We deal with the company. So I think that you just need to have a plan from in the beginning. It's not accidental that today you answer and tomorrow you are not answer. So it's about investing your time and dedicating your time to that. So and you're absolutely right. I think that's a lot of companies saying that you guys, for sure, people is number one. But for me, there is a really good metric that's we see a thing. First, we have newcomers coming from with great experience from great companies, and they're saying, guys, I feel the attitude here, so it's better. And the second point is that we have quite a few great say superstars in the team who at some point they want to grow, they leave the company and then they come back. So I think that it is a good metric for us, and we will carry on working on that.
Man, that's actually really awesome. For someone to grow enough at your company to then think, oh, okay, I want a bigger challenge. Let me go somewhere else and see if I can spread my wings and take on a bigger challenge. But then to either come back more developed and be able to do something better, or maybe to realize the grass isn't so green somewhere else. Or like I said, even if they have had a really good experience somewhere else, to go, I loved it at that company. I've got to see what's happening there again and go back. That is, like you said, that is a very good metric to know you're on the right track, and to know that the culture that you are trying to curate is actually working. I'm wondering, how do you know you're not going to miss a Peter who's working for you, who has big ideas, who can spot gaps in the market, who might be itching to try some things, those star players. How do you identify them, and how do you help them to grow within your ecosystem?
It is a very good question, and still I think that we have tons of the things that we should learn, but ultimately it comes to first, for sure, it's attracting the person, having the company, the brand that someone who just starts and who just think about, they want to work at and to try it, because the competition is huge. And then when inside, you need to allow this person to do to be free inside the task that they have. So we set up the goal, we set up what you're working on, and then just help this person to deliver. So not add some additional things like red tape and other. So try to break it and try to allow people to innovate, to build with less difficulty. It's not so easy as I say. We face that a lot, but working on that and having it in mind that yes, we need to have this safe space where you can make some mistake. For sure, in financial service company, we can make mistakes with money, with security. So, but some business mistakes, so sometimes it happens. And I think that to have this space where people is comfortable to build and then comfortable to take the risk. So it is really great.
Yeah, man. Thinking about your team now, and thinking about the rest of this year, what are you working on now that you can talk about, that you're most excited about for the roadmap ahead?
So we have quite a big partnership that we plan to announce in coming months. I can't tell you
Sure, of course.
about the partnership itself, but it is actually on the verge of building it with traditional ecosystem and making crypto is more accessible, easy to use, and safe. So I think it's a big moment for us to make this crypto world easier to operate. So, and also, as I mentioned, we finalizing this amazing report, and I like uh, really see a lot of you get the insights from this report internally, and it helps us a lot to understand what our customers thinking about, and the team can start building small things. Because to be honest, it is always great to pitch big projects, to launch something big. But if we're talking about the product and what is the difference, there are smaller things that the team works every day and making uh, a lot of smaller things better and more convenient for the end users. So I believe this the corporate, and I'm really excited about having some insight to navigate the team to carry on building.
Yeah, we just had this global case study of ChatGPT 5 being rolled out, and the users, Sam Altman and OpenAI are thinking this is going to be amazing, everyone's going to love it. But users who had built the whole workflow around Chat 4 and 4.5 hated it and didn't like it at all. And yeah, man, it's good. It's one thing to go and get new customers, but to treat your existing customers, to listen to them, to understand how they're using your product and how they would like to use your product is incredibly important. So I hear what you're saying there. That's a big deal to go and survey your customers, find out how they're using your product, what they would like, where are their pain points, all those kinds of things. Again, that comes back to that transparency thing that you were talking about before, where I think it sounds like you're not trying to just pretend or fake it, but actually genuinely trying to make solutions for existing and future problems. And yeah, man, I think that's actually a really awesome thing to do. If you zoom out from just what you're working on to the industry at large, or even just the world, is there anything in particular that you're looking forward to in 2025 for the remainder of the year?
I think that the world is met about using stable coins for some of for solving the problems. So I think with this really big part, so in money transfers, in receiving settlements and payroll, as I mentioned, so it's a big part, and we see a big push. So the first part of the year, there were a lot of announcement about investing in stablecoin payments companies. So now they will build and deliver. So at least some of them, and for me, it's really interesting to look at that. But also, I see a huge push in the US for the companies who are moving real world assets to blockchain. So, and it's really big part. So, for example, the idea that the Robinhood is working on, so it's a huge thing. So, and if this push is will be, will stay for quite some time, and a lot of companies will deliver this solution, we will see the trading, the movement of the assets, completely different way in a few years. So I don't think we will see it in 2025, but I think today the push that when people see this, guys, this is our core project. We think about, let's start building it. So, and I see a lot of this coming in 2025.
for those aspiring founders that we spoke to earlier, is there any part of that you think is most exciting, or people should be focusing in on, or there's great opportunity and the incumbents are at risk to, an agile startup? Is there anywhere we should be looking that perhaps people aren't looking at the moment?
I think that's money transfers, and some payroll solutions. So definitely few industries where there might come really big disruption. And I think that's consumer-facing trading ads, and also some of the like the basic fundamental things of the moving assets might change in a coming year. So I would say that looking at moving some of the assets on chain where you can easily transfer it, and you can easily receive it and manage by yourself. So it is not only the part for innovation for smaller companies, for challenger companies, but also for incumbents. They are doing a lot of things there. So, and we will see some of the things coming in the end of this year, beginning of next year. So, like blockchains developed specifically for large banks. So it sounds a bit strange and weird. And I chatted with a few guys. And they say, oh, we are doing basic things that other people who are building their own layer one, they are not thinking about. So, and it sounds counterintuitive that you should build those things. And said, no, but big banks, they need something like this. They need, for example, a limited transparency for receiving or sending money, because you basically don't disclose the data about your customer. So you are not able to do that. So and things like this, okay, well, why should you do that? There is a demand for that. So yeah.
Last question for today, at least. We love to ask this question last. If you're happy to share, do you have any particularly contrarian views where most people seem to think one way and you always find yourself thinking the other way? Anything we can learn from you in any particularly contrarian views?
To be honest, I think that's I had the line throughout our conversation. So although I'm in love with crypto, I'm not a crypto fanatic, and I don't think that crypto will take over. So crypto is just new innovation, maybe the same as the online payments 20, 15 years ago. So it is something new. So it won't change completely. It will solve some of the problems and make some of the things easier. But it's not the thing that we're talking about. Big banks that will disappear. Everyone will start using only Bitcoin or Ethereum for everyday purchases. So unfortunately, I don't believe that you will use Bitcoin to buy your latte macchiato in the morning. So although I think that I really love crypto, crypto is amazing, and we can build a lot on that, but it will be just a part of the world that we know today.
Yeah, I think the dream of crypto taking over the world has slowly died, or maybe has come crashing down to reality. And like you say, I think that was a contrarian view, but I think it's becoming more and more mainstream as people start to realize, crypto and blockchain has a lot to offer, but it's not the be all end all solution for every single problem. Peter, if someone would like to hear more from you personally or find out more about Mercuryo, where can they find you online?
So I think that the best way to reach us social pages, so our website, and we are always to open and to chat and to get some insights or share some insight. So yeah, you're always welcome.
And who should reach out to you? Who's someone who you think, man, we could absolutely help you if you just understood what we were doing? Who's kind of who's the person who hasn't thought about you but should have?
I think that all the people who are building something on blockchain, and they believe that they're really good in building technical blockchain stuff, but their view is that their product needs to be more tech oriented, with more connections to fiat world, moving money on ramps, off ramps, issuing the cards. So anyone who is building next challenger bank, but crypto first challenger bank. So yeah, I think that's we are more than happy to chat, and it is a two-way road. So to share our insights and also to learn.
Good on you. All the best with your upcoming partnership launch, upcoming survey learnings and applications. And again, really appreciate you coming on the show today, Peter.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Off Chain. We love bringing you great guests like Peter and hope we've inspired you to think and learn more about Web3, about technology, about the future, and how you might be part of building it. As always, please like, subscribe, or better yet, share this episode with a friend and help us spread the word. And join us again next week for another great episode of Off Chain. Till then, take care.